Record thus. Pop this on here, and I'm going to pop you all on mute as always, but you can unmute yourself at any point. So today, to start, we want to be in a position where we can be really, really super strong and stable. So Susanna, you said that you're feeling quite energized. You might want to start today and do the beginning bit standing, if that feels okay. And then you can get some power through the legs. Marie, obviously, probably not going to want to be standing. So you can use, I know you've got one of those Swiss balls. You can sit on that. We're just going to do some breath work, a little bit of pelvic floor, and then get into the wrists. And Susanna, if at any point you're feeling, I'm just fed up of standing now, or if your feet get a little bit achy because we're going to be stood in one place, then just take a seat or give the ankles a roll out. So let's find a comfortable position where we are. So Dad as well, if do you want a chair where you are? Oh, you've got one, bro. So yeah, perfect. So just sit on a bolster or wherever. If you are on your bum, just do ensure that you've got so I'm just putting my laptop on charge because it's just buzzed at me. Do ensure that you have got something to support underneath the hips. And as always, because we are doing yoga, we always take this time right at the beginning of our practice, just the really precious time to check in with the body and check in with how we're not just physically feeling, but where our emotions are. So we could be coming to our mats and feeling really strong, really stable, and feeling that physical element. That's one of the easiest things to feel. So you can start with that one, and then we can get into where the mind's at, how are we feeling emotionally. And if you're standing, just give the toes a little wiggle on the floor. Maybe bring your hands to baby, standing or seated, or just rest the hands where they come to naturally. You can either have your eyes closed or a really soft gaze out in front of you. So I'd like you to consciously take a really, really deep breath in through the nose. So fill into the belly, the chest, and then the heart. So that full yogic breath, just filling your entire being. And then sigh out, either sigh out through the mouth or out through the nose. Don't worry about how long these breaths are, how strong they are. Just breathe so you can fill up as much as you can. And just exhale, just release anything that isn't needed right now, or anything that needs to come out. These precious moments of calm to check in with your body and check in with your baby. Knowing that these breaths that you're taking right now are not just for yourself, you are breathing for two. Your heart is beating for two. You are standing strong for two. You are sitting relaxed, opening up for not just you. You are sharing this moment on your mat with the most precious, precious being at the moment, resting for 9 months underneath your heart. Maybe you can take a moment to visualize their face, their hands, their feet. Sending affirmations down to your baby. Saying, I love you already so much. I cannot wait to meet you. I have everything I need to bring you into this world calmly, pain-free, with courage and strength and the support. And let's take one last really, really full of love inhale. And as you exhale, just land right here on the earth, blinking the eyes open if they're closed. And then we're going to slide the fingertips out in front of us and really spread the fingers as wide as they'll go. So just notice here if the shoulders have lifted. If you can, just reach the shoulders up to the ears and then slide them all the way back down. And you might find that the arms actually open a little bit. So naturally, when we reach our hands forward, they kind of like come together. But if you lift them up and you allow the arms to be shoulder width, they might look a little bit wider than they actually are. So spread the fingers as wide as they'll go. Notice if you're starting to build any other tension through the body. You'll feel a little bit of heat rise through the arms, through the shoulders, and relax the face. And keep spreading those fingers as you deepen the breath. And then we're going to flip the palms one by one. So maybe the right hand or the left hand, doesn't matter, one by one. And again, roll the shoulders all the way up, back and down, and see if you can really kind of draw those thumbs outwards. So you should start feeling this down into the shoulder blades, into the forearms a little bit. Remember your breath. And just imagining your shoulder blades just coming together to support your back body for one more deep breath in. And breathe out and release the hands down to the knees or to baby. Okay, let's do that again. So bring the fingertips forward. And we're going to send all 10 fingers up towards the sky. So start with the right hand, lift it up, and then the left hand. Again, notice your shoulders. Are the hands closer together, or can you take them a little bit further away just by engaging the shoulder blades? So we're building strength in the back muscles, but we're also finding this length along the forearms. Spread those fingers a little bit more. And then bring the palms back down to face the floor. And then release down to the knees. Okay, give them a shake out. Cool. We're going to add that together. So we're going to inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, flip both hands at the same time. Inhale, flip the palms to face the floor. Exhale, hold it here. Inhale, reach the fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, come down. Awesome. Let's do that again, but we're going to kind of speed it up, not speed it up, but join the movements a bit more fluidly. So inhale, lift up. Lifting the fingertips up straight away. Exhale, turn those fingertips all the way down to the floor, really pushing as if you're pushing your hands against a wall and you're pushing the wrists of the hands. Inhale, lift the fingertips up again. Exhale, release. 2 more times. Breathe in, fingertips lift to the sky. Breathe out. Dial the hands down. Breathe in, fingertips to the sky. And breathe out, right down. And let's do one more. Inhale, lift, a little bit of fire building through the arms. Connect with the back body. Keep the shoulder blades drawing down the back. Maybe you can imagine your baby doing this. When they come out, they're like, hi. And then release down. And give yourself a shake out. Okay, so next one. We're going to bring the palms facing forwards this time again. So palms facing down and the fingertips reaching forward. Spread the fingers as wide as possible. Now release the jaw and any other tension. So you might feel, once you start feeling a little bit of kind of fire building up through the forearms and the shoulders, you might feel the rest of the body fire up. Maybe you're clenching your bum. Maybe you're not totally relaxed. So if you can, just take a cleansing breath in. Soften the shoulders. Again, two more times, breathe in. Last one. Cool. Okay, we're going to just draw the fingertips to face down and then curl the fingers in towards the palms of the hands. And then inhale, lift the fingers to lift up. Exhale, curl the hands down. Inhale, lift up. One more, exhale, curl down, shoulders are soft. Last one, fingertips up. And exhale, release the hands down. Give the shoulders a roll. Cool. So let's bring the hands up one more time. Well, not one more time, but another time. And flip the fingers up, and we're going to dial the hands down one by one once again. And we're going to take our left hand to the baby finger of the right hand, and we're going to pull the finger down and out. So we're not pulling it back towards us. We'll get into that in a bit, but we're pulling the finger down and out. Give it a little massage. And then the ring finger. Awesome. And then middle finger, so you're going, where's my middle finger? You're going one by one. Just pulling it out, trying to spread the fingers as wide as possible. And then left hand comes underneath the hand and pull that thumb out to the side. Keep drawing that. It's very, very tempting, even me. I'm lifting my hand up, but keep drawing those fingertips down and out. And then release down. And then the left hand, so pulling my ring off. Left hand, so lifts up and then dial it down. Right hand to the left baby finger, pulling it out. Remember your breath. So you're massaging the fingers. You're not just pulling it down and out. We're giving a massage right into the tips of the fingers. You might feel a little bit of crunchiness through some of the fingers as well. That's normal. When you get to the thumb, hand comes underneath and pull it out. The thumb's quite a tight one, like definitely for me, so I've been doing lots of knitting, so my thumbs are like, okay, again, arms out, dial the fingers down. We're now going to do exactly the same as what we did before, pulling it out, but then just bring that baby finger back a smidge without causing any tension or pain. Remember your breath. Notice the shoulders. Are the shoulders wonky? And we're just going to do that finger by finger. So pulling down and out, and then just draw it back a little bit. Not too much, especially if you've already got a little bit of tension through the wrists, a little bit of soreness. We don't want to aggravate that. We just want to encourage a bit more opening, a little bit more strength. And we're working, when you get to the thumb, bring the thumb back towards you. We're working through the shoulders as well. So you can feel that strength building in the shoulders. Release down. And then the left hand. So dial the fingers down. Start with the baby finger. And keep pushing the heel of your palm as if you're pushing it into a wall, but without bringing the shoulders forward. So massaging the finger down, pulling it out, and then a little smidgen back. Shoulders soft. Keep trying to draw those fingertips down to the floor as well. It's very easy just to focus on the finger that you're working with and forget the others. And pull the thumb back towards you. And release. Okay, give those wrists a shake out and a roll out. Okay, so bring the fingertips to the shoulders. And we're going to kiss the elbows together. Try and keep the elbows together for as long as you can, and then lift them all the way up to the sky. And then see if you imagine you're trying to bring the elbows to touch together behind your back. Obviously it's impossible, but we want to just encourage that opening. And also be mindful that the ribs and the chest doesn't puff out. So super tempting to kind of arch the back and really open out here. But we want to keep this core stability. We want to support those core muscles because they will be opening up a lot more to accommodate for growing baby. Following your breath. And let's go backwards. Keep kissing those elbows together. One more round. And release down. Give those arms a shake out. So should be feeling quite warm through the arms and the shoulders. Next one, we're just going to get into the fascia. So I've spoken to you a little bit about fascia before. This is what you might feel a little bit more than your muscles. So when you're tight in the muscles, the fascia is like a membrane that goes around the muscles. We're going to feel into this now. So you're going to bring the hands forward. Palms are facing up, and then palms face down. Take your arms out to the sides without puffing the chest. Palms face up. Now feel the difference. You should be able to feel this kind of moving in through the shoulders. Bring the hands back, shoulder width. Palms up. Exhale down. Take the arms out. Inhale, palms out to the sides. Exhale down, and just see if one arm feels different to the other. So just working forward one way, and then laterally sideways the other way. Take one more round. So forward and to the sides. And then on your next one, when you finish with your arms out to the sides, I'd like you to hold the fingertips facing up. Really, really imagine you're pushing two walls apart with the heels of your hands. You're sliding shoulder blades down the back, and we're going to hold here for 3 breaths. Spread those fingertips out, lift those fingers as high as they can, drop the shoulders, hug baby in. One more breath. Superwoman power, and then release the hands down. Cool, yeah, nice shake out. You should feel that one quite a lot. It's amazing, when I first did that, I was like, whoa, it makes such a difference. So just creating those, just opening through those lines. Right, let's reach the arms up, take a breath in, hands free prayer. Breathe out, bring your hands free to prayer, to your heart space, or in front of baby, wherever, however much room you've got. And we're going to turn the fingertips down. Draw the shoulder blades back, lift up through the chest, and really, really try and draw the baby fingers down towards your pelvis, all the way down. Shoulders are staying soft, so the tendency is to be here and be like, yeah, I'm going to push my hands all the way down. But we want to stay nice and soft. We're working through the wrists and the forearms. Keep breathing. And we're going to inhale, bring the palms up, prayer towards heart. And breathe out, send that heart energy down to baby. Again, inhale. Exhale. 3 more, breathe in. Elbows are reaching out wide, shoulder blades down and together through the back. Breathe out. Last 2, inhale. Exhale. And last 1. Awesome, and release. Give those wrists a roll. Cool. Let's come on to our bottoms now. So Susanna, just get down nice and in your own time, there's no rush. And we're gonna have, if you've got a bolster underneath your bum, maybe use a cushion instead, because a bolster will probably be too much. Or you can use, if you've got like a thin book or a couple of thin books or blocks, pop that underneath your bum. So nothing too high. And we're going to take the legs out wide, not too wide though, so we want to keep maybe to about a mat's width or a little bit more. Okay, and just give the ankles a roll. So you can bend through the knees in this. If you want to get the wrists involved with this as well, you can. Really scrunch up the toes and the fingers. Just get everything involved. And as always, if you want to see if you can go one way with the feet and the other way with the hands. I think I'm doing it, I'm not sure. No, yeah, I'm going the same way. I don't know. Cool. And then flex the feet, flex the hands, excuse me. And then point the toes. And then curl the fingers under, just like we did at the beginning. Breathe in, flex the feet. Knees are soft, breathe out, point the toes. Try and curl those toes all the way under. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Okay, release the hands down to the floor. Feet are hips width or a little bit wider apart. We're going to slowly just drop the feet down to the left, and this right hip might lift up a little bit. So this is why we don't want to be on a really, really high block. If you feel more comfortable not using a block for this next one whilst you're leaning back, you can. So we're going to rock from side to side. And this is going to get into, I'm going to remove the blocks actually, they're annoying me this morning. Too much for me. Kind of opening through the SIJ and the pelvis. So this is a good one if you've got any lower back niggles. SIJ, so sacroiliac joints, that's when you get the pain kind of like here into the pelvis, which I know my dad's suffering with a little bit at the moment, but it is quite common through pregnancy as well. Because obviously there's a lot going on pelvically, your body's changing, accommodating. And if it feels good, you can hold it and really squeeze the opposite butt cheek. So if you're onto the left, for example, you'd be squeezing the right butt cheek, but we keep lifting the heart up. Just make sure this feels okay on your wrists to be leaning back on as well. You can come onto fingertips. Last one. And release. Okay, so Esther, I need you to go out, please. Come on, go. So let's do some limb work. So we're going to just take the hands around the right thigh, interlace the fingers, or if you can't reach, maybe use a strap or just grab hold of whatever you can. And we're going to hug the right knee up, keeping it nice and wide so we're not compressing onto baby, and roll that right ankle. Keep breathing, lifting through the crown of the head so your body's nice and tall. And then release down. Let's swap sides. If you interlace the fingers, take your funky grip. So the non-dominant lacing of the fingers, lift up, nice and open with the heart, and roll through that left ankle. Nice clicks for me. It's good on a Monday morning. And then release down. So we're going to swap from side to side. You guys have done this one before. So you're going to inhale to lift. Exhale, lower down. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower it down. 2 more rounds, right and left. Last one on the right. And last one on the left. Awesome. Okay, so if you've got wrist niggles at the moment and you prefer to be on your back, as long as it feels comfortable, grab yourself a cushion or something to support your upper back. So we can all try this on our backs to start. And then if we're like, I'm not feeling too comfortable, I'm starting to feel a little bit nauseous, then we'll go on to hands and knees instead. But roll back, make sure you've got something to support your upper back so you're not completely flat on the floor. And you've got support underneath your head as well. So your head wants to be above your heart, basically. Now we're going to have the hands on the hips or hands to baby. Feet are going to be hip width apart, more or less, or kind of like if you bring your feet together, take your toes out as wide as they'll go. So just toe heel the feet. We're going to curl through the pelvis. So we're going to take a breath in, into baby. And as you breathe out, imagine you've got a marble at your pubic bone and you're rolling that marble up towards baby or towards belly button. Inhale, you're rolling the marble down back towards the pubic bone, and exhale, scooping it back. So hug your baby in. Inhale, breathing laterally and into baby, so you're not breathing into the chest. Also see if you can breathe into the back body. If this feels uncomfortable for any of you at all, roll straight onto your left, keep the knees together, and then you're gonna walk around, come onto hands and knees. And you're just going to do the pelvic rocks here instead. So you can come onto fists or forearms. So we're just trying to get a little bit of isolation for the lower back. And wherever you are, you can start taking some circles of the pelvis. If you're on hands and knees, just hug your baby in a little bit as well, just to keep that core work a little bit without having to do crunches or sit-ups at all. Ain't nobody got time for that in pregnancy. And let's take those circles the other way. Okay, awesome. So we can stay where we are. If you're on your back, I would just say come onto your left-hand side. You can stay resting on your left if you're like, oh, I don't want to get up now, I just need a bit of time. And we're going to make our way, either stay on our left or come into child's pose or puppy dog pose. So knees out about mat width. And toes can be together or out wide. It's whatever feels best for you, whatever feels best for your pelvis as well. If you've got the room to come into child's pose, then go for it. But I know for both of you, 36 and 37 weeks, you're probably going to be up here instead. So wherever we are, we're just going to do a little bit of work with some pelvic floor lifting. So as you breathe in, imagine you're lifting those pelvic floor muscles. So the back passage, the middle passage, and the front passage, lifting it up and breathing out, releasing it all. And being mindful not to squeeze the bum as we squeeze the pelvic floor. So inhaling to lift the pelvic floor, exhaling to let it go. You could imagine as you're breathing in, petals of a flower just closing up, and breathing out, the petals just blossoming and opening out.
Tilly, we can't hear you, or I can't, so I don't know if it's just me.
Can everyone else hear me? Oh. Can everyone else hear me? I can hear, okay. My battery's run out. Oh, that was quick. So just keep doing pelvic floor work in case you didn't hear what I just said. Inhaling to lift the pelvic floor and exhaling to lower it. So imagining a flower as you inhale, a flower just closing up, and as you exhale, the flower blossoming. All right, take one more round, and then when you've done that round, excuse me, find your way just coming onto hands and knees once again. Wrist knuckles come onto fists, or use a couple of books underneath your forearms. And just rock from side to side. So just get there when you can. And whilst you're rocking from side to side, I'd like you to really feel the stretch down the sides of the hips. And I think we did this one last week. I did it last week in one of the classes. Can't remember if it was last week Monday. But we can take a look behind us. So if you're reaching to the right, you can look down towards your left foot. And then if you're looking, going to your left, you can look towards your right. If it feels okay in the pelvis at the moment, as long as you feel stable through the wrists and the hands. As you're looking to, for example, the right, you can maybe lift your right thigh up and swap from side to side. Hugging baby in and going at your own pace. So obviously I'm not pregnant, so I'm moving in a very different way and a very different speed to you guys. So you just do what feels good, move intuitively. We're getting a little bit of work for the glutes. Kind of like in Pilates when you do the clam legs. Should start feeling the booty just firing up a little bit now. Shoulders are soft, back of the neck is long. Take one more breath. And release. Take the right leg back and rock forward and back here. Again, being mindful if the wrists are sore, just to do what feels good. You can always take the wrists further out in front of you so you're not actually kind of taking as much strain into the wrists. And then you're going to bring your right leg forward. If it gets stuck, just assist it through. And then you're going to keep the hands on the floor, or, excuse me, I'm just going to losing my voice. Excuse me. You can keep your hands on the floor or use a couple of blocks, or bolster, anything that you feel if you found that you're rounding forwards. Up to you. We're going to turn this left foot, turn it inwards, so it's more or less in line with your right foot. So the knees are hip width or a little bit wider, and you can keep the hands on the floor, or you can bring your right forearm to your right thigh, and your left hand can either hold on to baby or have the back of the left hand on the lower back. You're going to inhale, slowly bring the hips forward. Exhale, really gently, keep reaching the heart forward and just work on lengthening that right leg. Inhale, really, really slow, minimal movements. You don't have to go full whack here. It's not all about, it's not about that. You just do what feels good. Just create the space, maybe even lifting the heart here. So working through the inner groin, but also the pelvis once again, we're creating that space. Should feel quite good. If you've got quite a lot of downward force and it's quite heavy at the moment, it should feel good. Yeah, see you nodding, that's good. Okay, one more. And then hands come down to the floor. Turn that left foot back in line with the left knee and slowly take that right foot back. You might want to just toe heel the foot back and then take it back. Take a rock from side to side. Maybe a roll through the hips now. The other way if you're taking circular motions. Awesome. And then the left foot. So we're going to take the left foot back. Be mindful not to lock the elbows like I always seem to do. And rock forward and back. Awesome. Following your breath. And as soon as you're ready, guide that left foot forward. If it gets stuck, you just assist it on up. Keeping the hands on the floor for the time being. Right foot is going to turn inwards. So the right foot more or less lining up with the left heel. You can keep the hands down or on a block or a bolster, or left forearm to left thigh. You always, when you guys know this already, but just to remind you, kind of squeezing the heel and the knee together as well. So we've got stability. Right hand either to baby or the lower back. Inhale. Just sit forward a little bit. Exhale. Inhale. Maybe take that lift through the heart if it feels okay. And exhale. I feel like I'm in some sort of like Renaissance dance when I do this. Like in Pride and Prejudice. And they have those groovy dances in a dining room. Hello, madam. One more breath. And then bring the hands down. Turn that right foot back in line with the right knee. Toe heel the left foot around. And then take it back. And then take those circles or any movement that feels good for you. You can do some cat-cow here. And the other way if we're going round. Okay, let's strengthen through the top of the back a little bit more now. So we're going to come onto forearms and just measure out that your elbows are as wide as they need to be by bringing the fingers in line with the elbows, and they want to be directly underneath the shoulders. And then you take the hands out. Up to you what feels best with your hands. You can have the palms facing together or the palms facing down. It's different for everyone. And hug your baby in here. We're going to take some cat-cow from here. You're going to feel it more into the top of the spine. So just let baby hang out. We don't need to do any more of the hips. We've done that today. But we're going to inhale, reach the heart forward and take a little lift of your gaze. And then as you breathe out, round through the back, gaze towards your baby, hug your baby in. Inhale. Lifting the heart forward, taking your gaze up, exhale. But we're not craning the neck. We're not lifting the chin up and trying to look as high as we possibly can, because when we're reaching, shoulder blades are still drawing down the back. And take 4 to 5 rounds of this at your own pace. Awesome. And once you finish your last round, take yourself back either into child's pose, or you can come into a hare pose instead. So your hare pose, you want to use a couple of blocks or support underneath the forearms, sit back onto the heels, and you can either rest your head down, or you can bring, what I found quite nice, just bring my hands to my forehead and just holding my head here, and just releasing the tension from the neck. Allow the mouth to be nice and soft. And just let your body land back on the earth. Check in with an intention. Now that we've stopped moving, notice baby. All right, and then let's come back onto our knees now. So we're going to use support underneath our bottom. So you can either grab a couple of blocks, pop that underneath the heels. Let me just move this so I can see you guys a little bit better. Okay, so support underneath, between the heels. So for example, if your feet are hips width apart, or more or less, you've got the support between the heels so you can sit down on it there, and that we can keep the knees more or less together, or hip width apart, but we're not taking them out wide. So as long as you're comfy. So just roll the shoulders up, back and down a few times. If you quite liked what we did at the beginning with bringing the elbows together, which can feel super duper good, especially if we've done a little bit of work through the thoracic spine. You might feel a little bit of a deeper stretch through the top of the back. Awesome. Let's reverse direction. Take one more breath. And release the hands down. Come up to kneeling. Now this is where, if you want to use some extra support underneath your knees, just grab hold of that. If anyone gets headaches, or they've got quite a lot of tension through the neck, just do what we're going to do with one hand up and the other hand either to baby or to the hips. So just lift the arms up, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, so option if you get headaches or if you're feeling not as stable, hand to hip or baby, we're going to reach to the right. So it's like taking swaying palm tree. Inhale to center and exhale, swap sides. Oh, I just got a really nice click from my back then. I don't know if you heard that. It's really good. So whilst you're here, obviously what we're doing is we're working through the obliques, but we want to keep lifting through the pelvic floor, supporting that downward force as well, especially if you're already feeling quite heavy in the front body and you find yourself tipping forward. See if you can lift up, because you're not going to be feeling as long as you usually are. So really try and find as much length. You're tucking the tail, but not over tucking. And you're just moving with your breath. Awesome. And let's finish this last one with the arms lifting all the way up. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, keep those fingers wide and see if you can draw these shoulder blades back together without puffing the chest. And then out breath. Breathe in, lift up. Keep the shoulders down without lifting them up. Exhale, open wide. Now we are in prenatal, so maybe you want to do some real releasing exhales. So when you exhale, let out a sound if you want to. For example, a nice ooh sound. So you're breathing in, and we're going ooh, like a breathy ooh, or nice big sigh. And you can use these movements and this breath work during your labour. One nice little thing, if you can't think of kind of what noise to make, you can use the vowels of your name. So mine, the only vowel in my name is I. So I'd go, I. Or if you've got a name for your baby yet, you can use the vowels of your baby's name. And see if you can make it as long as possible. We'll do 3 more. Last 2. And last 1. And release the hands down, give the shoulders a roll. Maybe take a seat back if you need a little rest. Cool. All right, camel pose. So pregnancy version. So we're not, if you've got camel pose in your practice already, we're not, obviously you'll know, Susanna, we're not going to take it the whole way, but we're going to lift up and we're going to bring the hands, maybe bring the hands into fists to the small of the back. So I'll face this way just so you can see here, or if it's okay on your wrists, imagine you're sliding your hands down some jean or some trouser pockets. So the fingertips are facing downwards. Keep drawing the elbows towards each other. Once again, without puffing the chest. So we're drawing them together, shoulder blades are drawing down the back. With the hands, we're going to draw the hips down and forwards. and lift up through the heart and just gaze up. So we're getting a mini back bend here. We're lengthening through the fronts of the legs. We're tucking the pelvis. We're breathing into baby here as well. And as you breathe out, breathe down into your core. Breathe down into the earth. We've got 2 more breaths. So keep the elbows drawing towards each other, the heart nice and proud. 1 more breath. And then come back to center and sit the hips down. Hands onto the thighs and round through the back. Inhale, lift up through the heart, seated cow stretch. Exhale, round through the back. Okay, we're going to add that into a little sequence now. So we're going to inhale, on our next inhale, we're going to lift up. So inhale, hands come to the small of the back. Exhale, draw the hips forward. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, sit the hips back towards the heels and round through the back. So it's all in one breath. Inhale, lift up, using the strength through the legs, elbows drawing together. Exhale, hips reach forward. Inhale, reach the heart upwards. Exhale, sit back, seated cat stretch. Let's take 2 more rounds. Breathe in. Breathe out, hips draw forward. Breathe in and lift through the heart. Exhale. Awesome. And 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, hips draw forward. Inhale, lift the heart. And exhale. And then just sit nice and tall. Hands to baby. And just connect for a moment. Maybe your heart rate is lifted. Maybe feeling a little bit warmer, a little bit more open, a little bit more strength through the body. You've used a little bit of fire today as well. So if you were feeling a little bit lethargic before, hopefully you're feeling a little bit more energized, but not exhausted. Awesome. Let's come on to hands and knees now. I'm going to have the support, maybe have the support close towards the left-hand side of us. Walk the hands to the left. Take the feet over to the right. Have support there to sit your bottom onto it. And then come onto your bum from here. So cross-legged. Or you can have the soles of the feet together, knees out wide. If the knees are coming out wide, just have yourself some support to sit underneath the thighs instead. So we're going to reach the, bring the left hand onto the left knee, reach the right arm out. Inhale, take an open twist, opening as far as feels comfortable without constricting baby. So this twist wants to come from the heart. And then we're going to exhale, we're going to bring that right arm across the body and just look over our left shoulder. And maybe see if you can bring the right hand onto the left shoulder and get stretched along the top of the back. This right elbow is still lifting up. Inhale, open out as wide as feels comfortable without twisting through the waist. Breathe out, bring it across. So we're working to decompress the spine, but also supporting some healthy rotation of the spine as well. 2 more. And last one. And then bring that right hand down to the right knee. Let's do 5 on the other side. So inhale, open, keep lifting, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, looking over that right shoulder without twisting. This should be a good one as well if you have got rib niggles to do as well. About 2 more. and then come back to center. Okay, last little bit of work specifically for the SIJ, so for the lower back. So let's see if you can do this one, I would. Speaking to Dad, because Dad's just a bit niggly at the moment. We're going to start with straightening the right leg. Okay, if it's possible, I'd say, Dad, sit on a cushion instead. I think that's probably too high for what we're going to do. And it's a good point. If you feel like you're quite high up, just use a cushion instead. If it's comfortable to tuck this right foot back, then do. But if that feels like it pulls on the knee, then just keep the right leg straight. Okay, so wherever we are, we're going to bring the right hand onto the right butt cheek. The left hand is going to come out to the floor or onto a block underneath your left hand. And you're going to lift the right butt cheek up, and you're going to look over your left shoulder. So again, the movement is coming from the hips lifting and lowering. So we're inhaling to lift, and we're exhaling to lower. So again, your option is to just do this. Awesome. And make sure when we come back to center as well, that we're setting both hips back to where we started. So we're taking the range of motion that feels good for us, but we're always coming back to reset. Does that feel okay? And let's swap sides. So if you've got that right leg tucked in, untuck the right leg first, then the left foot about mat's width, then the right knee is going to come in. You can keep it here, or you can tuck that left knee behind. Left hand onto left butt cheek, right hand on the floor or on a block. Squeeze the left butt cheek, allow the hips to rotate open, and just gaze over the right shoulder. And then on your exhale, you come back to center. And that butt cheek will come off the floor. If anyone's thinking, oh, I feel like my hip should be still on the floor, don't worry, that's natural. That hip is going to come up. Awesome. 2 more rounds. And then let's sit with the legs out in front of us. Maybe lift the flesh from underneath the sit bones, maybe use bolster or cushion underneath your bottom. And your hands are going to rest where they feel comfortable. And just close the eyes. Return back to that super precious moment right at the start where we set our intentions, where we connect with ourselves, we connected with our baby, or you connected with your baby. And you give thanks for this moment. You give thanks to your baby for bringing you here today, for encouraging you to continue or start your practice through yoga during your pregnancy, during this amazing journey. Whether it's your first baby or not, each pregnancy is unique. It's a brand new experience each time. It's a completely exclusive experience for you and your baby, no one else. Nothing could have prepared your heart to open like this. From beyond the skies and stars, the echo arrived inside you and started to pulse with life. Each beat a tiny act of growth, traversing all our ancient shapes on its way home to itself. Once it began, you were no longer your own. A new, more courageous you, offering itself in a new way to a presence you can sense, but you have not seen or known. It has made you feel alone in a way that you never knew before. Everyone else sees only from the outside what you feel and feed with every fibre of your being. Never have you travelled further inward where words and thoughts become half-light, unable to reach the fund of brightness, strengthening inside the night of your womb. Like some primeval moon, your soul brightens the tides of essence that flow to your child. You know that your life has changed forever, for in all the days and years to come, distance will never be able to cut you off from the one you now carry for 9 months under your heart. May you be blessed with quiet confidence that destiny will guide you and mind you. May the emerging spirit of your child imbibe encouragement and joy from the continuous music of your heart, so that it can grow with ease, expectant of wonder and welcome when its form is fully filled, and it makes its journey out to see you and settle at last, relieved and glad in your arms. If you are laying on your back, you can stay where you are. If you're laying on your side, you can stay where you are. Wherever we are, we're going to bring the hands to baby or to our tummies. Offer ourselves, offer all of the mothers to be in this space, all of the other beings who are joining us in this practice, gratitude. Offer all of us, including ourselves, love, guidance, peace, clarity, and confidence. From my heart to all of your hearts, thank you for joining. May you be safe, happy, peaceful, and joyous. Namaste.